Hey, what's up everybody? So today I'm going to be working on the driver's side inner fender well. I'm going to see if I can get all of the holes drilled, all the self-tapping screws tapped in, and then see if I can start taking it apart before we run out of time today. So let's just get started. So if you guys will remember, we left off with the inner fender well being partially screwed in. So we had it set up so that, sorry, let me just get you in the right spot. Alright, so we have this inner section built, but it's not screwed into anything. And then we have this upper part that is screwed into the upper fender well. So this upper part's good. Now we just need to secure this top part, get all the screws set up for this, and then we can start disassembly, sanding everything down, seam sealing everything, and then going from there. I don't think we'll get that far. I think we will probably get we'll get all of the screws drilled for the top piece right here. Get all of those screws inside. Oh, speaking of which, I have good news. So, my order finally came in, and I now have hex head self-tapping screws. So now I don't have to deal with those Phillips head self-tapping screws, and I can actually get the screws in where I need them to be without messing around with them and having a whole bunch of issues and just generally not having a good time. That should actually speed this process up significantly because I was having a ton of issues with the Phillips head screws on that side. So we'll see how it goes this time. I'm just praying these hex head screws, which I have not used yet, are just so much better. So with that, we'll get started with drilling our holes in the inside. So let me get you guys all set up in the right spot for that. I'm not sure the best way to do this, so stand by with me for 2 seconds. I apologize. Eventually they'll have more than one camera, so I can do all the stuff I need to and get this all split up, but alas, I'm not made of money. But we'll get there eventually. For now, we'll just have to deal with the occasional camera move and whatever that entails. But at least on this side, I'll be able to get you guys a good angle of what I'm actually working on. And let me get my little light in here so I can show y'all what we're doing. Get my little screws down here, get all this stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to screw one tiny piece in on the bottom and get that set up so then I know exactly what I'm starting. And this is full of metal shavings. We'll see if we can make that work. So now, instead of using those super long screws, I can use these really tiny ones. I have longer ones if I need them, but I'll be able to kind of use what I need and not have to worry about cutting them off or breaking them off later. So let me get this one started. Okay, that was a lot louder than I expected, but she's holding in there. I actually think that I can do all of this from up top because of how short these little screws are. Let me make sure that there's enough sticking through. Yeah, there's perfect. Huh. So you know what I might just do? I think I'm going to rotate you guys back to the other side of the car, and I will screw all of these in from up top. And then what I'll need to do is bend this little guy over when I'm ready, but I think that this will be more than enough. Perfect. Yeah, so let's scooch back on over to the other side. I apologize. I was expecting this to be significantly harder than what it is. Again, who knew? The right self-tapping screw made a world of difference. Buying the right part is more important than you think, huh? So, having the right tools for the job, always a good thing, never a bad thing. Always invest in your time. Alright, let's get you all down here. Get you set up right there. Cool. I think you guys can see all right. Maybe I'll go like this. Perfect. I think it's a little bit better. All right, so I'm actually going to mute you guys because that was really loud. And I don't know about you guys, but I like my hearing. So I'm going to mute you guys real quick while I screw some of these in. Hopefully my drill fits in everywhere where it needs to. And then I'll be right back. Alright, I am going to try and see how hard it is to screw from the inside of this. Now that I've gotten these first couple through, it looks like they're going to be a lot harder to get to from up here than from underneath. We'll see if I can make that work. I think there's enough overlap on all of these that I shouldn't have a problem. We'll see. So, take a couple of these bad guys. Alright, so that was significantly faster than the last time I had to do this on the other side. Honestly, when I take out these other Phillips head screws, these guys up here, I might just replace them with these hex heads so I don't have to mess with them. They went in so much easier and they were so much sharper. I think I'm just going to do it. That was life-changingly quick compared to the other side. So I'm not going to mess with that right this minute. I'm just going to pull all of this down and then just start sanding everything. So let me get my other drill bit. Where were you? So I'm going to attempt to take this out in one piece. I think it'll fit out, so I'm just going to take out these top bolts, or screws. Some of these holes look like they're going to be a lot of fun to put back in. Perfect, that one wasn't even in. How about that? Alright, so that's out. Let's try and push this bad guy out. See what she does. Oh, I'm not very hopeful that this is going to come out in one piece, but I've been proven wrong about things before. Alright, cool. So you guys saw how that came out, right? So this is going to go back in there perfectly, just like I took it out. I promise. I'm not going to fight this thing for 20, 30, 40 minutes. Yeah, why would I do that? So, now I have to take all of these out. I know that it'll go back together. I'm not going to put this back together up here. I'm going to put it back together up. I'm so torn. I'm just going to take it apart. We'll take it apart, deal with it in a minute. You know, I know I'm going to have to fight to put this thing back together, but it should go significantly easier now. really wish it wasn't doing that. I really enjoy my hearing. That is not friendly to hearing. Also, I got these brand new little paint markers that have a little bit deeper reach, so that should make things much better to write on. They write super smooth on this metal. I'm glad I upgraded some stuff. If not for me, for you guys. My time is just as valuable as your guys' time, and the quicker I get projects done, the quicker y'all can watch them. So let's get started with the sanding down of this. I left that somewhere. Alright, so I'm not going to say this part's extremely loud, but it can be repetitious. So I'm just going to mute this while I do it, just because it can. So now this is a hell of a thing. Alright, so that's all the cutting that we had to do. Now it's time to start applying seam sealer to everything and getting everything all set back in together. I don't think there's enough left in this specific tube to get this all going, but we'll give it a shot. Do I have something I can poke down in there? There you go. Alright, so I really want to attach this piece to this piece while it's on the bench. I'm just not sure how hard it's going to be to get this piece back inside the car. I think I have to attach this base plate first and then attach this afterwards. I think that's my best bet. It's probably my only bet. Yeah, let's just do that. So, let me set you back up over here. I also need to get my longer self-tapping screws because these little guys were a little bit longer than the other ones. So right now I'm just comparing the screws that I have to the other ones, making sure that they're a good fit. Oh, where are you? Okay, so that first one is somewhat in. Now I just need to start working my way around. Alright, I'm going to mute you guys again while I get this up, because it's really loud. I'm sorry. So, I like explaining what I'm doing to you guys as I'm doing it, but with these really loud things, I want to protect my hearing more than I think it's worth talking to you guys over that loud noise. So, let me go ahead and finish doing all these self-tappings. Let me undo these two, put the seam sealer on there, and then I'll continue from there. Alright guys, it's hot. But I got, let's call it, but 2/3 of this sealed and done. Let me give you all a look at what it looks like. So I'm gonna have to do something about that little corner down there, but other than that, the inside of that is pretty well done. I'm gonna have to look on the inside and see how good that little seam looks. But well, it doesn't look the best. I'm gonna be honest. The other side definitely looks a lot better. But again, for the purposes that I'm trying to do for this little fender well section, it should be perfect. I hit it with a hammer a little bit, knock some of it down. That's why I had issues. But it's close, so I just need to pop out that one little self-tapping screw on the bottom that I put, lift up the edge a little bit, seam seal all of that all the way through, self-tapping screw it all the way along like I did on the other side, and then it's good. Then I just got to fill in some tiny little gaps like I did on the passenger side, and then it's good to drive. I'll show you guys that another time. I'm tired now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. And until next time, I hope you guys take care.